Man's natural environment is an environment which man didn't make, like trees, wildflowers, water, grass, and air, and stuff like that. And he's learned to use these things for good uses, like trees. He could use those for houses, and he could use water for drinking and air for breathing. Through technology, man has made machines, and machines make pollution, and pollution in those machines now are killing things and making pollution all over. It's killing birds, it's killing all animals, and it's killing some people from breathing the air.
I like to drink water from the drinking fountains, and if we don't stop water pollution, we won't have any more water to drink out of the drinking fountain, because there'll be dirty water, and man needs water. If he didn't have water, he would die. How do you think you can stop pollution?
My mother stopped using high phosphate detergent because they cause algae in the water, which causes water pollution.
I'm a Boy Scout. We had a newspaper guy at the junkyard, bought the newspapers from us. They asked us, please, would you buy newspapers from us again?
I told my mother to buy returnable glass bottles and not buy canned pops. I told her I would volunteer to bring the bottles back to the store.
People my age can stop pollution by learning older people and other people from pollution the air.
Right there, little metal roofs so water doesn't run in. I just put it on 4-inch pipe. Put a little, band clamp, stainless, little pieces of wood, and then I use, this is like a lag bolt. This is the fan, it blows it this way in. But my suggestion is to have it so that you can reverse that fan and have it go this way and use that one product that I showed, and maybe once a year in case there's any mold that grows in there. Beyond where it goes into the building, and then I put like I don't know what they call it, a bunch of rock, like a dry sump or whatever, so that any condensation in this pipe runs down the pipe and goes into that rock dry sump or whatever they call the thing. And this is automatic. And so we'll go inside and look at the other end of it. But wing nut, these are wing nuts on here. So that's like a lag bolt that goes in the wood there. And then that's a wing nut so that I can take this off, and if I want to flip that fan, I can flip it the other direction and pull air out and then spray that natural product that I'll post on here to let you know that it's all natural and there's no toxicity, but that will kill mold if it happens to be there. And the reason I put the fan out here is you could put the fan inside and have it, but it's loud. So this fan is a pretty powerful fan. It's like 200 cubic feet per minute. Like right now, this building's minus 2.5. This is winter time. But that's a little control device it's a temperature control thing. It's easily programmed. That's only around $7 or $8 for that. And that runs from when I have that switch, it goes down and into the pipe all the way to the other end to the fan. And the way I designed this is I found that these little sensors, when you turn them off, they forget their programming. So I have it wired here. This is the positive and negative, and then the yellow is the positive feed to it, to the fan, and the black is the negative on that side, so on the right side. So I have it designed here so that this thing never turns off, because if that turns off, it loses its programming. So I only have this off because that goes to the fan. In other words, the switch is, if you can look on the right hand side, that's only going from the yellow, which is the positive on that, and it comes over here to the switch, and then it goes down and out to the fan. The bulk of the building is board and batten, like this, 1-inch boards. So basically not really insulated at all. And so I could get like up to 5 degrees from that unit. There's another tube. This is a cargo container here. We made our house out of 4 cargo containers. We did all the work ourselves. We do general contracting, and for our resort with all the rentals for that, we put in earth tubes, but we ended up putting in basically around 100 feet into each rental of SDR 35, this thin wall pipe, and we got upwards to 5 degrees Fahrenheit. Now for our homestead here, we're going to put 2 pipes in. So this is the first pipe that's going in, and you see where they're going in through the cargo container to the end of the pantry. It's about as deep as I could get it with my old tractor. It has a backhoe unit connected to it. So got it, I don't know, around 36 to 40 inches deep, and it's 100 feet long. Okay, I put 2 cup loads in, and we got like 1.5 out. So,
and you lose some at each joint.
In the summertime, generally your soil gets so dry as you get into the heat of summer that it isn't like springtime when the ground's all soaking wet. So that's my experience with it. Of course, here at the end, flip that thing over, and that's the bottom, and you see the holes drilled in there, and those holes there are sensation to drip out. So now, Jody, stick that right where it's under there. Nope. Then we'll get the upper one. Okay, here's our house is off-grid, so it's 24 volt DC. I mean, we have an inverter, we have 110 and everything, also AC, but anyways, we like to run fans and everything, and all the lights and pretty much everything we run off DC. It's a lot more efficient. We don't have any real waste to it, like in inverters, you get up to 10% of waste of your energy. So this fan blows in, and it can go in both these pipes. Now, the trick to this is, inside I'll have one of those temperature controller things that'll trigger this to tell it to turn on at a certain temperature. But when you're normally using this, the fan's going to be blowing the air down this way. But the trick I thought of, since I did the other units, is I thought it would be a lot better if this could be reversed easily. Now it's going to pull the fan out this way, pulling from inside of the house out to the outside, and then using this mold control concrobium, and it's not toxic. That's what I like about it. It uses a mineral here. And you put this in here in that fogger, and you have the person inside sending fog out through each pipe. Now, with that being sent out through each pipe, then I have the fan reversed on there, and that will mist everything on the inside. And like I say, this is a mineral. The mineral that's in here, let me just see if I can read this. Sodium carbonate, and it's almost all sodium carbonate. So all it is a mineral. It's not going to hurt anybody. And by doing that, you can do that once or twice a year, and you can control if you have any mold. I mean, you might not have any mold. If you have it all downslope and there's no little places where water kind of catches because your pipe isn't completely flat and has little swales in it where you catch some mold. But anyways, I'm always going to clean the system with that at least once a season, just to play it safe, which is very common. You can get that at Lowe's or Home Depot in a big container, and that'll solve all your problems. You can see that's the way it's set up there. It can drip any runoff or from moisture inside of it, drips out at the bottom. And with the fan, I still have to put a little metal roof over top of the fan, and I'm going to design that so I can flip that fan very easily to change the flow of air. And that's the basic system right there. There's looking out the window, haven't covered the pipes yet. And then here's inside. There's the two pipes coming in. I'll put a screen over those, and then I have to put a little temperature controller, 24 volt DC, but that same temperature controller the companies have it in 12 volt DC, 24 volt DC, or 110 AC. So that's the beauty of it. So you could have had the fan on this with a 110 fan, and you could have the 110 temperature controller, and it wouldn't cost much at all to set this up. So our whole resort is all off grid, and it's extremely low to no carbon emission. And that, I mean, it isn't like one of these, oh, we're green, you know, where they greenwash it and they really aren't even that green. I mean, we're super mega green, and that's what we believe in. So, and we've been doing that for 30 years, building straw bale houses that heat themselves just with the sun and don't even need any carbon emission to heat. So we're been trying to battle global climate change for 30 years, whether anybody believes it or not. It doesn't matter to me. We believed it back then. So sign off, sayonara. I had no water forming, so by having a ditch go about 6 feet more and having that part with gravel, that worked really well to make sure that it never got any there. Where these pipes are popping up out of the ground, I could have used some 22-degree fittings and then turned it down, but I'm going to wrap this with double bubble here, and I have like almost a 300 cubic feet per minute fan that's going to blow through two 100-foot long 4-inch pipes, and I don't want to put any more restrictions of having it go through elbows any more than I have to, because that anytime you put a 90 or any fitting, they're going to slow down your air somewhat. So that's why I came down here, and I'm just going to wrap this with double bubble around it and around it. So I still have to put a little bit more soil up to that point too. I ran out of soil.